Hi there! Today's story I've taken off the website bardmythologies.com, and it's the Book of Invasions Part 6, The Sons of Mill. The Tuatha De Danann ruled Ireland for a long time, and during that time the land prospered. Summers were never too hot, nor winters too cold. The forests were bountiful and there was always enough for everyone to eat. One day the High King of Ireland died and left his kingdom to his three sons. Their names were MacCool, MacKecht and MacGrania. The three of them could not agree on how best to divide the land between them, and they quarrelled bitterly until the Tuatha De Danann were on the brink of war. At this time, far away in Spain, there lived a wise old man named Ith Espana. He often stood on his high tower looking out over the sea. One day he thought he could see an island in the distance, a place of high mountains and green forests. Ith told his brother and his nephews about this land that he could see, but they thought he was looking at storm clouds and laughed at him. But every day that Ith looked, he could see the island a little clearer, and at last he became determined to sail there if he could. Ith gathered his men and set sail. When he and his men reached Ireland at last, Ith marvelled at the wonderful land he saw. He made his way to Tara, where MacCool, MacKecht and MacGrania were arguing still. They welcomed Ith and his men, and because of his age, they decided to ask his counsel. Ith told them that the best thing to do would be to follow the laws and customs of the land, because from what he could see, those customs must be very good indeed for the land to be as perfect as it was. Ith went on, praising everything about Ireland and speaking in glowing terms of everything that he had seen there. But he being a foreigner, it made them uneasy to hear him talk about Ireland with such praise. They decided he must have come as a conqueror, and so without further provocation, the three kings of Ireland killed poor Ith Espana. When Ith's men brought word of his death back to his grandson Mill, he and his three sons gathered an army and set sail for Ireland to get justice for Ith. Mill died on the voyage, but his sons Emergan, Eramon and Eberdon honoured their father's wishes and continued on their way. Now Amergin was a powerful druid, and when they came to the shore of Ireland, Amergin sang a song announcing his presence and all the skills of magic and respect for nature that he had. The sons of Mill journeyed to Tara and announced to the three kings of the Tuatha De Danann that they had come to exact revenge for their great-grandfather's murder. The three kings asked for 3 days, during which time they would decide whether to abandon Ireland, to fight, or to submit. Emergan, being the wisest among them, agreed to this condition, and they retreated on their ships 9 waves beyond the shores and waited there, so that there could be no chance of their planning anything underhanded. The druids of the Tuatha De Danann were not so honourable, and they sang up a storm. They called down a mist to scatter the ships so that they would not be able to land again. When the storm blew up, Emergan suspected that it was magical, and he sent one of his men up to the mast to see the storm from above. The man fell from the mast to his death, but as he fell, he managed to call out to Emergan that it was calm above. There was no storm. From this, Emergan knew for sure that it was not natural. Now, Emergan's druidic powers were a match for the De Danann's druids, and he sang a counter song against their songs that quietened the storm. Furious at the treachery of the Tuatha De Danann, the Milesians decided not to wait till the 3 days were up, but to land immediately. After the storm died down, one of the men, Dun, was so enraged that he began to talk about how he would kill all of the Tuatha De Danann, exulting in the thought of the slaughter they would wreak. As he spoke these hateful words, the storm blew up again, stronger than ever. The sons of Mill had to make an anti-clockwise trip around Ireland before they could land by sailing up the Boyne. On their way to the plain of Taltu, they met with the 3 queens of the Tuatha De Danann one after another. The queens Banba, Eru and Fodla promised that they would help the sons of Mill, if in exchange they named the land after them. Emergan agreed to each queen's demand, and that was why in ancient times Ireland had 3 names, though only Eru survives today. On the plain of Taltu, the sons of Mill met the Tuatha De Danann in a great and terrible battle. The 3 kings of the Tuatha De Danann were slaughtered, and then the sons of Mill slaughtered their wives. The Tuatha De Danann's forces were routed, and they fled all the way to the sea, with the sons of Mill in pursuit, killing and slaughtering all they could get their hands on. After the battle, the Tuatha De Danann were defeated beyond any hope of recovery. They decided not to stay with the Sons of Mill, who were dividing Ireland in half so that Eramon and Eber Dawn could rule it together. Instead of staying where they would have to pay taxes and tributes to the conquerors, they retreated and shrouded themselves in invisibility, taking all of their magic with them. They took ownership of the hills, the forests, and the waterways of Ireland, where they lived for evermore. And the Tuatha De Danann have strong links with Grianna and Aile here in Donegal, and the battle where Ith was killed is said to have taken place around Ballindrate or Mulnagung in Lifford. Thank you, bye bye.